What's up? Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome back to another day trading recap. So I think by now you guys know the drill. A new recap, a new location. That seems to be the trend. Right now, I'm actually in a cool location, and it doesn't really look like it based on the backdrop, and that's because I'm in a closed area, kind of like a phone booth here. But right now I'm in Bowling Green, and this is a really fun area because it's right by Battery Park and by Rockefeller Park. These are two really new, nice areas, and then it's got Seaport nearby, which is one of my favorite areas in New York City. And then you guys know I went to Pace University, which is, I think it's right here. And I lived in this area for 3 years, so I know this area pretty well, and it's nice to be back. But phew, I am exhausted. We're just constantly running around to different co-working areas. This one today, my friend invited me to, so I'm pretty happy about that. And right here in Bowling Green, where I am, we're right in front of the charging bowl, so it's kind of fun seeing that. Although there's so many tourists in front of this bowl, you can barely actually see the bowl. So it's not what it used to be. I feel like I don't know. Well, when you live here, you can go there at 2 in the morning and nobody's there. So that's like probably the best time to go. Little pro tip. So trading today, I actually didn't trade very long. It was like 8:30. Oh no, it was like 9 o'clock, and I called it because I had to run. So I didn't have time anymore. We were in our apartment that we're house sitting, and then we had to run on out of there. And then now I'm in in the FIDI. But boom boom drum roll here. I'm up 721 on the day. And I got a little bit lucky. It was a rough day for me. I was actually down like $500 today. And I was like, oh man, this is a really bad looking day. And then CYN did something that I was not expecting, and I jumped on hard, and I made back my losses, and then made 770 on it because I was down like 500 specifically on this ticker. So I had a really nice $1,000 plus trade, there was several trades, but there was definitely one big one. I think that's going to be a fun one to talk about. I didn't trade the market open. I didn't trade the morning or anything like that. So I was only trading pre-market. So for this recap video, I just want to focus on this one and how I could have made a lot more money on CYN. And, I think it's because I've been so exhausted. I didn't do something that I should have, right? It's all about patience. I didn't trade for like an hour, and then CYN popped up, and then I saw it. I got aggressive. And then I wanted to start sizing, but I didn't size enough as I should. I think one of my trades, I went long. Let's see here, filled orders. I don't know. I think my max size on this ticker was like 3,000 on CYN. It was like somewhere in this area. I think at one point, maybe even 4,000 on one of my trades. The problem was I should have been long 10,000. I should have just really, really stepped it up. I think my average size today maybe been like $8,000. I should have went to like 16, 20, 30, $40,000 because the wind was behind me on this one setup. I knew it was, you never want to be overconfident, but this was a good setup. And, it's all about patience. And then you want to get aggressive, which I did, and then you want to size. I didn't do that last part. Maybe because I took a big loss right at first. And before we talk about these tickers, I do just want to mention here, look at this. UAL is our lead gapper on the day. What does that mean? So United Airlines Holding. Well, it's very rare that there's a large cap that's taking this spot with the biggest dollar volume. So you want to be a little bit mindful of the fact that this, we're entering earnings season. Right now, the SPY is getting a lot of attention. It's been a little crazy lately, especially with Netflix, falling off a cliff. Large caps have been overall a little bit more interesting lately. You could see it in our Discord as well. Sometimes when there's large caps moving, it's not a good time to get super aggressive with the small caps. And then on top of that, Thursdays is historically not really my best day anyway. So I was like, you know what? I don't like calling it early. I usually like trading till at least 10 o'clock, or else I feel like I'm not really doing my job properly. And, I want to get some screen time in, at least trade from 7 to 10. But today was one of those days where I felt like I could, maybe afford it. It was probably the better decision. Plus, it's been so crazy, and in my mind, I'm exhausted. I have like a constant headache. Okay, so let's go here to talk about, we'll start with CYN and we'll end with CRXT. And then we'll talk about SWVL as well, because that was crazy. So CYN, this ticker was, really rocketing here. Let's see. what was going on. So overall, backside pattern, not really that nice. But we had a big high relative volume breakout today, and we were just ripping through these resistance zones, like boom, 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 and it was looking pretty good, especially, you know, first thing in the morning. So actually, let's look at that first thing in the morning. Five minute chart. Let's see what happened here. This ticker just ripped up 100%. But when I was trading it, it was only up, like, I started trading it here when it was up 75%, which was a quick move. And I took a huge loss because I actually bought this breakout and I sold near the top. It was like an amazing trade, but only with 1,000 shares. Then I went to do the dip, and I got skunked. I took like a 10% loss. So that's the 5 minute chart. Software application software company. Let's see, 30 million shares roughly outstanding. That's pretty small. 50 million market cap. Between $2 and $7 roughly. So this ticker hits a lot of check marks, and it has a catalyst here. EV turnkey. What's this? Autonomous vehicle solution. Okay, well, not EV, but autonomous vehicle solution. Hot topic. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of check marks. Let's go to the 1 minute and see how this performed. And I kind of had a feeling like maybe I should be trading today. Look at this volume on this ticker is beautiful. Nice market open. I would have probably, I don't know what I would have done here. I would have tried to trade this. I really don't. I probably would have bought this pullback and lost money, knowing me. Who knows what would have happened. So I can't be thinking here, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Plus, I mean, this is not the nicest price action, so I guess it's fine. Now, this ticker, I haven't traded anything up to this point, I think. Maybe I did trade CRXT, but it was only one quick trade. Anyway, nothing really is going on. I'm just kind of like sitting like, oh man, you know, it's like what? It's 8:30 here. I'm freaking bored as hell. And, you know, basically half my day is already over in terms of trading, and nothing's moved yet. So I was like, another pre-market snooze fest, just like yesterday and the day before that, and I think even Monday. So then all of a sudden on our scanners, CYN pops up. And actually, I gotta be honest here, I did not find it on my scanners first. I was actually on YouTube, and let's see, on the news section, I have Zendu here. So this is a YouTube channel that has this screens a watch list, and yeah, YouTube is like 15 seconds delayed, but still 15 seconds is a lot quicker than 5 minutes that TOS is usually delayed. So I heard it get called up on there, and they actually have a guy that speaks in a guy and a girl, a female and a male voice, depending on if it's a high day ticker and something else. So definitely check that out and read the description. But this was really helpful. I heard the guy say CYN, and I was like, this could be good. Let's at least check it, because they call out a lot of tickers too that are nonsense. I saw it instantly. You know, it was like somewhere already in this area, and when a ticker pops up this quick, you know it's game time. So I jumped in with my first size somewhere here. Yeah, 170. No, wait, that's not true. Yeah, 179, I jumped in, and then I actually took profits here in the 90s. So this first trade, I made like 10%. It was only with 1,000 shares, so it wasn't really that great. And then it was a little red pullback here, and I thought we were going to rip past two. I was really aggressive. So I started sizing in again at 175, which was really close to my first entry, which could have been great. You know, if this kept on running, this would have been a huge win. But it kept on selling off. I was down, and then it had a little bit of a bounce here, and I was like, you know, maybe it's going to reverse or, you know, keep going, but I got to cut my losses. So I cut my losses here, gave back, you know, profits that I had, and then dug me in the hole. And then I was watching this one. It found support here and popped back up. But, you know, I'm not going to get in some revenge trade for no reason. So I was just like, okay, well, let's see it do its thing. When it was back above VWAP, that's when I was like, it's back in play, because at this point on the 5 minute chart, it was making a new green candle here, and I was like, okay, it's back in play. I got to get aggressive on this ticker. So I was waiting for maybe somewhat of an entry. I remember here I had my limit order at like 157 or something like that. I just missed this one, but the next candle starts breaking higher, and I actually buy high on this one. Take some profits quickly, buy again, take profits, buy again, take profits. Same situation. Buy, take profits. Then I knew this is a pullback here. This is a 5 minute breakout, 1 minute pullback. I need to hold this position, and this is where I was long like $3,000 or $4,000, and I shoulda, coulda, woulda really sized in. This is where I should have went in with like 10,000 shares, and boom, huge breakout. I took a little bit of profits off the table, another breakout, closed the rest of my position. I actually ended up buying on a dip and then closing the rest of the position. And then I keep trading this one. But at this point, I was like, okay, it's done, getting choppy here, and I was done. I did one last attempt to trade here, but I got a partial fill, and then it popped back up, and I just quickly closed it, and then I was done. So yeah, that was my pre-market trading. So then I pretty much had a run. Who knows what I would have done here. you know, if I bought, let's say, this pullback, I would have got chopped out here. This would have been annoying, but then we had a 5-minute breakout here, so I would have probably tried to get back in. I think maybe I could have done okay with it, but it's not great. It's not a beautiful setup for sure by any means. So, you know, I'll take my $700, especially for the fact that I was down so much today. I was getting a little nervous. I was like, if I have 1 or 2 more red trades, you know, I'm going to hit my max stop on the day, which is $1,000. So, you know, I was a little bit nervous there. Where do I think CYN is going to go from here? I don't know. Right now it's dead. Volume's disappeared. It has so much resistance on this ticker. That's really what worries me here on this one. So it doesn't have any history of spikes. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow it disappeared, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it held its highs. It's all about, you know, how much can we keep holding our highs? How much can we not give back from the top? I usually don't like when we start giving back more than 30%. So we're still in that range of like potential, continuation. Maybe it's going to hold its highs. Maybe it's going to have another, evening run, power hour run. Maybe it's going to, kind of consolidate, but then tomorrow it's going to gap up. I don't know. I really wouldn't want to, honestly, if it really starts breaking this area and starts trending lower, my hopes for this ticker would be pretty much over. So I want to see it hold its highs. CRXT, the next ticker. This is actually the ticker I traded first. Very small red trade, backside ticker, like relative volume, nothing really too interesting. Just looking at the 1 minute, you guys can see a little bit more. Actually, let's look at the 5 minute first. You can see, yesterday was the big move on CRXT, and then today we're just like in this chop consolidation. I started trading this one thinking we are, breaking VWAP, and we're gonna, have a new high here at 2.6. So I was getting aggressive, looking for that run to 3. We didn't really get it. I unfortunately came late to the party, or not. I traded this one really bad. I bought here a little bit high thinking this was going to be the pop, and I cut my losses here when it sold off, and then I tried to get back in, but I just was small size and I didn't hold for the whole thing. So like I had the right idea, but my execution on this was really bad, really bad. So don't even want to look at that ticker, but something to learn, I guess. You gotta, if you're on the front side, you gotta trade the front side. You gotta, in a way, you almost blindly have to get aggressive until the front side has proven to no longer be on the front side. Otherwise, you're gonna be biting your butt. If I just held blindly optimistic, I could have made somewhere between 10%, 0 and 10%, and then in this area, I could have held again. But then I would have stopped out, so I would have lost maybe 2% here. So yeah, I would have made, and then I would have lost. So that's really what trading front side is all about. You have to kind of give in to the setup. You don't want to predict really anything. I'm not here to predict what the market's going to do. I'm simply following what the market is already doing, and that's why it's a pretty easy strategy. But at the same time, you have to leave all your biases at home, and that's why I don't do so much research on these companies. Actually, I don't do any research on these companies. I just start trading what's in front of me. It works really well, but you have to really get over a lot of like internal biases for sure. What else? Yeah, the last thing I want to talk about here is SWVL. This ticker was, flying today. It's a recent IPO. Just look at this freaking momentum it has today, 120% plus, and pretty nice volume coming in here. Let's just look at the 1 minute really fast. Now, I don't know if you guys watch Ross Cameron. I assume a lot of you guys do. He was talking in yesterday's recap video. It was so funny. He was like, this is what happens, tickers like this, they'll go bananas. And then he called it like, I think the banana breakout or something like that. I forgot what he said. I thought it was really funny. But yeah, that's what SWVL was pretty much, more or less. It was a banana breakout. I mean, this ticker went crazy. I honestly don't know where the entry would have been. Buying here, you would have had to basically buy after a halt, because it got halted here. You would have had to buy somewhere here in this area. It pulled back for a second and then halted again. So I don't know, like trading this would have been way too aggressive for me. Not for me. So the only thing I could have kept on trading today was CYN. So in a way, I'm pretty happy that I think I just called it, or I'm not really happy that I called it, but today was probably the day where it was the best decision. I was very aware of what I need to do. I got to get on calls today. I had to leave. I had to look for a co-working space, and then luckily my friend invited me here. There's honestly 1,000 other things. I just can't even think of it right now because there's just so much on my mind, right? And then Thursdays aren't even that great to begin with. So it's like, I'm not gonna, keep over trading when today I really don't have the time to do it, or at least continue trading to where I should be trading to. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope you got some value out of that. I will see you then first thing tomorrow morning for the last trading recap of the week. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. Consider subscribing if you do, and like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.